bunch of things must have gone wrong if you're listening to this. Whatever happened, I know you must be real scared. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to head for home. Maybe if I was you, I'd want to make a flat-out run for Helicon Air Force Base in Greece. Right now, you're probably filled with all the doubts in the world. But I'm going to tell you something, though, baby. God doesn't give people things he doesn't want them to use. And he gave you the touch. It's a power you have inside of you, down there where you keep your guts, boy. And it's all you need to blast your way in and get back what they took from you.
Good morning, Patriots. I'm Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. Welcome to the show. We have a good one lined up here with some information. I just wanted to let everyone know to please subscribe. We appreciate all the support. All the links are down below, and the website is now up and available if you want to order some shirts. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. We were heavily shadow banned, so everything helps. Thank you. Over here on Breitbart, we got a new Democratic insider details mail-in voting fraud operation. This is a real thing. So a Democratic operative is telling all about the massive voter fraud operation deployed to rig elections for Democrats through paying homeless voters off, taking advantage of the elderly, posing as registered voters, and printing up fake ballots. An exclusive report by the New York Post, John Levine, tells the stories of Democrat operative who has personally led a staff to produce false election results via voter fraud for years now. A scheme that he suggests will be utilized in the upcoming local, state, and congressional and presidential elections on November 3rd. We've been talking about this for the last several years, folks, and it is real. This is a real thing, he said, and there is going to be a effing war coming November 3rd over this stuff. If they knew how the sausage was made, they could fix it, emphasis added. So in one story, the operative explained how he and his staff make fake mail-in ballots by simply running ballots sent to the registered voters through a copy machine. The envelopes used for ballots are much more difficult to recreate. So instead, his staff goes door to door, convincing voters to let them deliver their mail-in ballots for them. Then he and the staff open the envelopes by holding them over boiling water to open the seal, removing the voter's mail-in ballot and replace it with the fraudulent ballot before delivering them at the mailboxes in multiple towns so as not to draw suspicion. In some instances, the operative said postal workers can be in on the scheme. You have a postman who is a rabid anti-Trump guy, and he's working in Bedminster on some Republican stronghold. He can take those filled out ballots and, knowing 95% are going to be Republican, he could just throw those in the garbage. Taking advantage of a vulnerable voters is a vital tool for the scheme, the operative said. For the example, he detailed how he and his staff have links to nursing homes employees who will fill out the absentee ballots for elderly residents. In other cases, his crew pays homeless voters living in shelters about $50 to $60 to vote for a Democratic candidate. When not stuffing mail-in ballots, taking advantage of voters, the operative said he and his staff impersonate voters in person on Election Day. The team looks for registered voters who are not active voters and obtains their personal information to impersonate them. The process, like printing fake mail-in ballots, is easy. When there is no voter ID laws in place to prevent such fraud, the fake voters go to the designated polling places and sign the real voter signature as best as possible. The fraud often reaches the highest levels of election officials, according to operative. His staff bends the corners of the ballots in specific place to tip off their allies in states of board elections. The fraud operation detailed by the particular operative mostly dealt with in cases in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, though he suggested it occurs across the nation on a very large scale. There is no race in New Jersey from City Council to the United States Senate that we haven't worked on. The operative told the New York Post this. I worked on a fire commissioner's race in Burlington County. The smaller the race, the easier it is to do. Such alleged fraud has come to light in recent months. We've been hearing about this, folks, for a long time. So in June, a Democratic councilman-elect in Paterson, New Jersey, were charged with election fraud along with 2 Democrat operatives. In one instance, officials alleged that one of the operatives collected unsealed mail-in ballots from voters and delivered them sealed to the Board of Elections. Similarly, in May, a former Pennsylvania judge pled guilty to stuffing ballot boxes for Democrats in exchange for payments from political operatives in 2014, 15, 16, and primary elections. That same month, Pennsylvania election officials admitted that duplicate mail-in ballots were sent to voters. So Nevada's June primary out in Nevada, opposite, area of Pennsylvania, shows huge issues with mail-in voting. In Las Vegas, Nevada, more than 223,000 mail-in ballots were deemed undeliverable in the election, about 17% of the total number of mail-in ballots sent out to voters, unsolicited. Federal election data reveals that since 2012, about 28.4 million mail-in ballots have gone missing in each of the last 4 election cycles. According to the Pew Research Center analysis, there are potentially 24 million ineligible, inaccurate voter registrations on state voter rolls. Recent data has not shown a compelling public health justification for mail-in voting. In Wisconsin's April election, only 52% or 52 of more than 400,000 voters and poll workers were confirmed to have contracted the Chinese coronavirus. None of those cases were fatal. This equals an infection rate below 0.02%. And they're trying to shut the world down over it. Unbelievable. But real as all get out because we're dealing with it. Again, I am Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you. And again, thanks for all the support. The links are down below if you want to support in any means necessary. And the website is another way. Share the video across all social media platforms while you can. Again, we are heavily shadow banned since the very beginning of the COVID. They attacked us as well. So we appreciate everything. God bless and have a great rest of your day. And where we go one, we go all.